Hello and welcome back to another solo playthrough of Panzer. We're playing Scenario 37, Delaying Action at Ernage, May 14th, 1940. We're up to turn 3, and in this turn I'm going to show you how our Panzer company and grenadiers go after this S-35 that is blocking our way, as well as this H-35 that's also blocking way, and most deadly, the CEA-47 anti-tank gun up here in the woods. We'll see how far we can clear and if we can get them all. We're coming in here at the point that I've checked for any additional spotting and adjusted the spotting. I've also set out our commands for our units over here as well, remembering that the French, acting as an AI, will only appear with commands once their unit is activated to move, fire, or be fired upon. So starting out here, we're going to take a look at getting the initiative going and walking through our turn. So the first thing here is checking for the initiative. We're going to roll for the German initiative, remember, and this is going to be a plus 20 to that per the scenario rules. That gives us 103. That's going to be greater than the 50 that is required. So the Germans are actually going to go first, and we're just going to check some spotting here and look to open fire on that S-35. So we're first going to have this Panzer IV-D 204 open fire on 204 of the S-35. Checking the range is 4. We're going to now check for the command. At the outside chance there's a move command on them, we're going to check to see what their command is. So we give the command roll, give the roll for command there. We get a 77. That winds up being a fire command. So he is not moving. He's actually going to be firing as well. And now we're going to take the shot at the Panzer, from the Panzer IV-D to the S-35. 40% chance to hit. We roll an 80. So that's a miss. The shot went wide and missed completely. So that's Panzer 204. Next, we're going to go on to get rid of that command. There we go. We're going to go on to the next Panzer IV-D, which is going to be this grouping down here. There's actually 2 more that have fire commands that hopefully will get them. So again, the range is going to be 4 to the target. So there's a 40% chance of hit. The shot, 55. So that's another miss. So getting closer, but we still missed the mark. And now we have the third one. I think this is going to be 201. Nope. They're going to take a shot. And there's a 40% chance of hitting again. This time we score a hit. We roll a 28. So that's under the 40%. So now we've got a hit on them at a range of 4. So this is going to be tough because we've got to hit them just at the right spot. So we've got a hit. Now we check for hit location. Hit location's a 7. Now if you notice, we're hitting the front side armor here. So that is now going to get a location of the side hull is going to be hit. We're lucky because that's the one spot. If we look over here to our French S-35, H-35, S-35, that's the one, the front side hull side is the one spot that we're going to be able to penetrate on them. So we've hit and we've actually penetrated, but we're going to do some variable penetration rolls. So the first roll is a 9, which is good. That's going to give us a +1. The second one is another 9 plus 2, which makes 10. So our penetration is 10 against the armor of 7. That will penetrate. And now for our damage roll, we roll a 5, and that KOs him. So we knock him out and get him out of the way. So we'll just clean this up, put a KO marker on them, and now he is knocked out of the game. So that's good. That helps clear this avenue over here, he is the one guy I was really worried about because he could do some really nasty damage to all the attacking units. We still have some units to be worried about, particularly, as you can see, taking this line of sight on the CA-47. And this guy is probably the next dangerous to this group coming up here. So we're going to try to take him out. Now, it's going to be a little bit trickier because here I've got Panzer II's 2Cs taking shots at him. And you notice they've also got a short halt on there. So that's going to give us some negative modifiers. But we're going to be shooting with our little autocannons there against them and shooting HE, 20 millimeter HE rounds into the woods there. So hopefully we can get to suppress him at least. We're also going to be using the optional rules of pinning fire, which is going to help us a little bit because there's a plus modifier on that. So our range is 6. Doing pinning fire against them, which means we're going to need a 40 or greater to suppress. Now, if you remember with pinning fire, it's there's no effective results. It's only suppression results. So they've got to roll a 40 or greater to suppress them. So, whoops, rolled the wrong one. Oh no, sorry, did roll a 9. That's a D100. So that's a miss. So we actually missed them. So there's no suppression with that first one. Luckily, we've got a second one. He's a little bit farther away, just another 100 meters off. So he's about 700 meters away. He's again doing pinning fire. He's going to need 40 or greater to suppress. This time he rolls 100. So he actually gets a suppression on the gun. So that helps. They're not knocked out, but at least they're suppressed. And that suppression is going to be good because that really drives down the modifiers for the attack. And those guys are kind of cowering in the woods here a little bit. So next we're going to have a Panzer IV D, not C. That's just a mistype on my thing. Place a smoke in hex 27-6. They roll and successfully place it, so you can see the smoke comes on over there. Okay, so that'll help block. What I'm doing over here is trying to block off the ability for these guys here at a longer range to, get a lucky shot at these guys trying to move up the trail or up the path to the road over here and trying to block their line of sight. So next we move along here. Here we go. So now we got the Panzer IV D301. I'm going to be firing smoke and trying to put smoke over here into H7, which is right over in, let's see here, KJH, here we go, H7, right over in here. So we'll see if he does it. Play smoke less than 6. They roll at 8. That's a miss or a fail. So he's done. Next, 302 is going to try to place smoke, and they roll a 4, and they place the smoke. So they actually put smoke onto the Panzer II over here that was damaged when they initially discovered those units back there. He's going to try to move back in the movement phase, by the way, too. So German fire is complete. Now we move on to the French fire. Now we've got the H-35 down here, or excuse me, down here, who's going to try to fire back at those guys that fired at us. So he's going to check for, first check for his command. Rolls a 75, which is going to be a fire. So he is going to be firing. Checking for the target now, and that's going to be the closest unit. So he's going to be firing at this recon unit right here, this R003. So he's going to fire directly in front, checking the range over there. We've got a range of 5, excuse me. And he is now going to have a 30% chance of hitting because he's moving, and he's also a small target, so that reduces him quite a bit. 30% chance of hit. Rolls a 53. That's a miss. So the H-35 misses with his 37 millimeter gun. And then we're going to do a command check on the CA-47. Rolls a 41, which is going to be a fire. Now he is suppressed, okay, but he was suppressed during this turn, so that means he's not going to get a no command. If he was already suppressed, he would have got a no command on here, but this is the first time he's suppressed, so he still can fire at our units. So he's going to try to shoot at our Panzer II-C. Range is 6. He's going to only get a 10% because he is suppressed. We do count the suppression at this point. The fire order was placed before he was suppressed, but the suppression does count for his fire. 10% chance. Rolls an 8. Lucky hit. Location is a 1, which is the front turret. There's no need for a variable penetration roll because he's going to be an 11 versus a 4 in the armor. Rolls for damage. Not a D100, but a D6. Or D10, excuse me. Rolls an 8, and that's a KO. So now we've lost our second unit over here, which is going to be that Panzer II-C. Alright, so even though he's suppressed, he still got him. So he's still dangerous, but it could be a lot worse. So again, moving on here, checking some ranges for these guys to the south. We see that the S-35 is now going to do a command check because he's in range to hit that other Panzer II-C, other recon unit. He will have a fire, and he's going to fire at that II-C. It's going to be range of 7. And he's only got a 15% chance of hit because of the smoke and moving. He rolls a 72. That's going to be a miss. So he's okay so far. Now the CA-47 down here, this guy right here, is going to check the command. He's also got a fire shot. He is also going to target that same one. He's a little bit farther away, another 100 meters away, so he's 800 meters. And he is going to take a shot at him. 20% chance to hit him. And let's see if we can hit him. Rolls a 49. That's a miss. So we missed him. That's good. I don't want to lose all these recon units if I can help it. Now the other S-35, which is underneath him, going to do a command check. Rolls a 31. That's going to be a fire. So he's going to take a shot. Again, same target. 15% chance of hitting, and he misses. Okay, so we kind of dodged some bullets there, both figuratively and literally, to keep the II-C alive over here. We did lose one recon unit up there to the anti-tank gun in the woods, but hopefully we can get him in the next round. All right, so French move. There's no French units moving. All of these guys have fired, and all of the other markers are assumed to have overwatch fire because they're in defend. So it's the German move. So now we're going to see the movement, and we're going to start moving up some of these units. This first one here is the other Panzer II-C recon unit. He's going to try to get up and out of the way. Not to be targeted anymore. And we get him up there. Then we're going to deploy some of our infantry from these 251s that are sitting up by the road, just so that if they get hit by the anti-tank gun or the H-35, they will not lose 2 units. Then we're going to move our II-C up here, get him behind the smoke a little bit farther away. He's kind of in trouble because he's been hull hit, remember? And he's been hull damaged, I should say. And he only has half his movement now because of that. So he's going to be a little bit impeded in terms of how much he can keep up with units. So we'll see how he survives here. And now we move up another one of our infantry units trying to get some more spotting, particularly in the woods over here. I'd like to try to move him up. You can only move up 2 at this point, but I'd like to try to get him up here and to spot into the woods and help potentially with some fire over here on the gun here as well, and other guns that might appear over here. Then we'll continue on, checking for some opportunity fire here that I forgot about. And he's going to take a shot, and he's going to shoot at the forward observer, I should say. And he actually misses. Okay. Now he gets a fire marker on here, and I'll just slow down here for a minute. Gets a fire marker here, but he's not spotted because he's in heavy woods, and with the cover of the heavy woods plus the -3 for the visibility, they're still not in range. They've got to be in a range of 5 or less to actually see him, and they're just out of range for the moment. That's why I want to get him up here to spot him. I don't like him sitting there. Less than 3, sorry. It's less than 3, not less than 5. So now we have some more movement here with some of the half tracks that are behind. And they're going to move up here, kind of just out of range. I'm playing this a little bit gamey. Well, I won't say gamey. It's just the French will not engage over 10 hexes. So these long-range shots, they're just not going to be effective for them. So if I move just out of their range and just kind of circumvent their arc of fire, I should be able to get them around to the road and still keep them moving without fear of being fired upon at some point down the line. So that's what this is all about, just kind of some quick movements here. Mostly 251s with loaded infantry. And here's some more coming up here. And they're crossing up the road. There's nobody who can really fire upon them because of the range and smoke. So a lot of these guys just kind of moved up. And there we have it. So there we have it, the end of turn 3. We've moved up, we've taken out the S-35, but we've lost a Panzer II, a recon unit, so I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is. We do have the gun suppressed, so that's going to be helpful on the next turn because they will not be able to use a fire command because they are suppressed. They will have to have a ND command on there so that they can attempt to recover the best they can. They will be able to fire if fired upon in there, but more than likely they're just going to sit and recover to do that. So we'll be on to turn 4 with the next video. Hopefully move up, try to uncover this unit up here, number 7, because I do want to try to advance up the road and through the town. So I need to keep things moving along here fairly rapidly to get them up here. We're only up at turn 3 on here, but I can't delay too long because it is a long trip across here, and I do need to fight out some other units potentially as we move along here. So we're going to try to move up here, take out the guys that are known, this H-35 and the CH-47, and try to discover this one in the next couple of turns. At the same time, kind of blocking off down to the south, discovering what this guy is, hopefully setting up some smoke screens or knocking out these guys. Not sure about knocking out because I don't really have anything in line here for the range, but I'd like to at least try to get them up and around and blocked off by this hedge so that we can get around here and kind of minimize their impact. Because once we get them up here to this hedge, they will not be able to see up into this road too much. This guy may be able to, and may be able to engage some fire up in through here, or maybe he'll move, but the bigger problem, the gun, the anti-tank gun here, will be minimized by us getting around there. So that's the plan. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.